What's up, family? Good evening. Good evening. I'm on this very, very beautiful Saturday night. Had to make a quick run at DEI Target, of course. Yeah, you ain't hearing much about that bullshit no more, is you? No. We don't give it, So, yeah, I had to make I'm not running all the way to hell to damn Walmart. So I could be sitting up in the shower cap line. You know what I'm saying? I'm not running all the way down there when I can just, you know what I'm saying? If they find me a black on Walmart, yeah, I'm there. But I wanted to kind of get a little air. I wanted to kind of talk about like a little bit more. Which way should I go? Should I go the long way? I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more about with contracts. I was talking to somebody the other day. They're like, "Hey, can you really ask more for contracting?" I said, "You should. If you're getting ready to renew your contract, that's something that you should consider doing." Now, on this contract I'm talking about, and I won't say the name of the company. I'll say that it's a financial company, a very large one. I've been in charge of a lot of the deployment assets. I've been in charge in the logistical side of things, as I told y'all, end user computing and stuff. I've been trying to get, since I've been in that joint, I've been trying to get 3 or 4 blacks up in there. And I just got word from one of the software engineer brothers that I want to interview. Once I find him something, I want to try to bring him on the channel. He does UX design. He said he got a response. I think it might have been for one of the higher paying positions. I don't remember, but I think he got a response from this same place. Because my goal was to at least get 2 or 3 brothers and sisters to get them in that door so they can make them some bread. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. So it might have been the position that pays up to 145, or it might have been a position for 115. Now we had another brother. Every time a new position comes out, I send it to them. One of the brothers that has a business system analyst or a business analyst background, I send him mainly for the BAs and the BSA positions, and not really so much as project coordination, but I try to keep him around that line, or if it's something kind of similar to that. But he said that he's looking at several different other permanent roles. So if it's a short-term one, then don't send it. So I send him all the permanent roles every time I see a new job come up. I've already tried to apply for some of them. I got denied 4 or 5 times. I felt like I should at least got one interview because I know I'm qualificationed up. So I think it could be something else. And we'll get into that at a later date of what my suspicions could be. But that's neither here nor there. When I'm looking at one of the projects that they're working on real big, is something happened where the firmware went wrong. The firmware was causing a lot of problems. Now, when you're in a financial environment, every single piece of a minute, every second costs. Almost like lawyers, you're dealing with financials. So the monitors were having issues for a lot of the financial analysts, and the brokers kept having issues with monitors. That means they got to keep plugging it up or whatever. So it's cost the company over $500,000 when they add up the help desk time. And I mean, they add up everything. So it costed them almost well over 400 to 600K, maybe more. So now they have a project where they got to add docking stations, right? So that might be a project that I might be a part of. But what I tried to do is I tried to push for that. Well, hey, if I'm sitting here and I'm working and I was sold on a hybrid idea, I should be able to take a remote day. But now that's starting to become a lot more problematic, because their theory is as well, if you're going to be working remote, you got to be working. Well, I'm doing the same thing that I'll be doing at my desk. If there's not no machines to necessarily deploy, and they were like, well, that's why we want you here. And I understand that. And he said, I know you're going to do the work and you're going to do what needs to be done. I know you're going to do that. So there's no disenfranchisement of what the manager believes I'm capable of and what I do. He said, you making us look real good. You know what I'm saying? You're doing good work. You keep your head down. And see, that's where I told y'all that I'm not one of these people that's big into, I'm not one of these people that's big into tons and tons of conversation at work. I'd rather just get the work done and make my bread. But depending on where you want to go in some of these environments, you might have to do a lot more talking. I'm not for a whole lot of talk. I talk to y'all because I want to just kind of share these experiences and, you know, and kind of, you know, so, but like when he said, you keep your head down, in so many words, you mind your business and you get your stuff done. That's the way I operate, you know? So I said to myself, I said, if this is supposed to be a hybrid environment, the only way this is going to work is if I'm working on a project, working with not offshore, but people outside of state doing some of the work. And I said, well, you know what? I might as well just stay on site for majority of the stuff, because one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to be wasting no time, missing no express buses just to do a half day in office or whatever. So it's not really hybrid. So I told myself what I'll do. I went to negotiate the rate. Let me get a higher rate, finding out that I told y'all before that they are underbidding. They are bidding cheaper because they want to grab more clients. So I said, well, you know what? In that case, when I talk to them again, I'm going to ask the agency, hey, well, if I'm not getting the remote option that was offered, that's what the position was supposed to be. And if they're not going to add a wider scope, I still want a higher rate. I still want a higher rate because there's more work to be done. There's more projects that they want me to be a part of. But initially, I'll say when they tried to get somebody down there earlier last year, they wanted to pay in the late 40s to the 50s range. That's what I heard. So, okay, if y'all are underbidding the project, yeah, am I making good money? Yep. But let me get some more because I'm a contractor. There's no loyalty thing about this. I'm not trying to be loyal. I'm trying to get as much as I can. You see what I'm saying? So that's just something that I kind of wanted to kind of talk to y'all. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on the, you destroy your country, don't destroy mine. People been sending me a lot of videos and I've been seeing a lot of stuff coming out where folks is getting the blues. And like I said, I stand on it. The freedmen are not going to be the ones just getting the blues. We're not going to have that. And like I say, if anybody speaks against us and I hear anything about it, if I have something to do with it, yeah, I'm going to defend us. So yeah, you're going to start seeing some hilarious little videos that's coming across as people sending me stuff and people sending me all kind of stuff after they watch my videos. And I appreciate the comments. I see a bunch of freedmen, man, that was in there. They going hammy. They going ham sandwich. They like, hold on, this brick lady, what's up with her? Yeah. That's what happens when folks get checked and they start hitting them felony cases and people start checking their paperwork. They start running back talking about we all need to come together and there's a diaspora war. Ain't no war. Ain't nothing we started. We done did everything we was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like I said, and see, that's the thing about this damn internet. Anybody can speak on it. You could take one of my videos and you could say things that you don't agree with. You had one sister that had an issue with the Jasmine Crocker video. She left me a huge big paragraph about being perfect. She won't stop defending the hood rat behavior. She won't do that. She left me a big paragraph. You see, I check my comments, y'all. I comment on them. And I'm like, well, why is she acting a fool? We don't need folks to represent us that are not speaking in our best interest and got us looking like caricatures. We can just use the early cartoons and keep going with that if we gonna deal with caricatures of ourselves. If we gonna deal with that, so yeah, they gonna get that smoke too. You're not gonna be able to say I'm black, and because I'm black, I'm not gonna get no smoke. No. If you do something or say something off code and it comes across my desk, I'm gonna analyze it and I'm gonna upload it, because you can do the same thing for me. You can look up and say, well, you know what, man, that nigga ain't doing this and he ain't doing that and blah, blah, blah. You can do that because we're in a free market of YouTube. So you can very well do so. You can pick apart my words. You can make comments. You can say whatever you want to say. You can do all of that because that's a free market. And ain't none of this copyrighted beside my music. Ain't none of this copyrighted. And I'm probably going to be sharing some of the old music I did too. So y'all can kind of see where I was trying to get in the IT world. I was still trying to do my music. So I'm going to share some of that old stuff too. I'll be posting that. You know what I'm saying? This is a digital archive, y'all. Hey man, these new subscribers, shout out to y'all, man. I know y'all like that thing with Kirby. I'm going to keep posting that too, because she got us looking good.